like this, and we are going to go ahead and go for the Raihan. So we're going to be able to use Crazy Claws this turn. I think that's a cool thing. We're going to put ourselves down to 2 prize cards. But there's the Crazy Claws, 550 damage. You are now watching Zach Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be covering over the Dark Box deck. I think that's the name that we're probably going to go with it. A lot of people have different names. So the way that this deck works is you want to sacrifice up single prize card Pokemon, and some of those Pokemon have attacks. Maybe you want to be damaging your opponent's Pokemon, or maybe you want to be sacrificing things for Galarian Moltres. In this case, Galarian Weezing allows you to kind of block your opponent's abilities and kind of make sure that like they can't really do too much in a format where Drizzile and Crobat and a lot of things are important. Neutralizing Gas is cool. You could also use its attack to kind of poison your opponent's Pokemon, putting them in a little bit of a difficult situation. Maybe they're going to take some chip damage here or there. So while you're sacrificing up these kinds of Pokemon against your opponent's Pokemon, you can eventually build up damage for Sableye V, or you could sacrifice prize cards for Galarian Moltres. So Galarian Moltres allows you to kind of collect energies in your hand, drop them all down at once, and go Fiery Wrath to attack for a lot of damage. But if they do have any damage counters on them, or anything else like that, you can totally hit them hard with Sableye V. Sableye V has its Crazy Claws attack, where you can just kind of go like Crazy Claws, 10 plus 16 for each damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon. So depending on how you want to play the matchup, there's a lot of different things to go about it. Now, when it comes to covering this deck, I will be covering my most updated build, so you can check that out. The list is also in the description. Check that out. And we're going to be going through some gameplay, explaining what's going on with this deck. In these update videos, I just want to make sure that the strategy is pulled off well with this deck. So we will be seeing how that works out. By all means, give this video a thumbs up. It's a free way to help support the channel and helps the videos grow. Subscribe to the channel so we get up to 10K subs. I was about to say viewers, 10K subs would be huge. We're at around 9,500 at the time of recording. Let's try to get those last 500 or so. I would really appreciate that. And let me know in the comments what type of videos you want to see. Any questions you got about the deck, let's spark a discussion. Let's jump into the deck list to see exactly what's going on there. So here you have it, the Dark Box deck. Dark Box deck, like I said, starts off by sacrificing up single prize card Pokemon. You got Hoopa, you might be able to do Assault Gate, builds up some damage on your opponent's board. You have access to Galarian Weezing, which you get out really quickly with Koffing's Ascension attack. I think that one works out really nicely there. So you could go Neutralizing Gas, stop your opponent's abilities, do some severe poison in the process. So while you're sacrificing these 1 prize card Pokemon, you have access to either building up damage with Crazy Claws and going 10 plus 60 more damage, which can knock out things in a pinch. Of course, you could also build up damage with Quick Shooting Inteleon and stuff like that. We also have access to Galarian Moltres that you could kind of play down at once. And as soon as your opponent draws quite a few prize cards, you can hit them with a Fiery Wrath. Late game, if they've only drawn like 5 prize cards, you're literally doing 270 damage with Fiery Wrath. Plus Quick Shooting, plus any damage that they might have from like chip damage from severe poison or Assault Gate or anything else like that. A lot of people ask, how do you power up the Sableye? It's really easy when you're able to search out with Shady Dealing to grab yourself a Raihan. You can get the energy in your discard pile, get the energies back really quickly. Don't be afraid to Raihan onto a Galarian Moltres if you can only attach like 1 energy with Malevolent Charge, etc, etc. We also have Castform. A lot of players use Tapu Koko to retreat. I actually like the Castform a little bit better because it has less HP. I could search it out with Level Ball. There are other Castforms that you can play. I just don't think that this one's going to get hit by a weakness as much as the other ones might in fringe scenarios, but I do like it just because I can Level Ball and have free retreat there. Beyond that, I mean, the deck's pretty cool. If you have anything in the discard pile, I like to collect things like Galarian Moltres in there, or even like a Drizzile piece or something. You could always get them back with Klara to kind of make late game dynamic turns, and you have Scoop Up Nets to kind of get yourself out of the way. So it's a really interesting and complex deck to play. I don't even necessarily know if I could play it perfectly all the time, so keep that in mind if you are looking for a deck choice. If you are trying to pick up any of these cards, go to PTCGO plug in code ZLesage5 to save 5% on your order of codes. Maybe you could pick up some Sword and Shield codes or Fusion Strike, or maybe even some upcoming Brilliant Stars. Or you could also learn how to play this deck one-on-one with me on my coaching. I coach at Metafy, so you can go to metafy.gg/@ZachLesage. That link's in the description along with the PTCGO code 1. Let's jump into some gameplay and see exactly how this deck works. So we're going to start off this game by going second, and I mean starting with a Castform, certainly not too bad. We have options to free retreat into something like maybe a Sobble, get some Call for Family action in play, it's really one of those things we'll have to play it out. Again, you can sacrifice Sobbles early game because it's the same thing. You want to sacrifice things, maybe build up some chip damage, see exactly what you have going on. Now, I do see our opponent putting 2 Pokemon down. Really not a great idea to be putting 2 Pokemon down at once. Even if they're the same, it's better to get the knowledge of your top deck, then make a more informed decision. So we'll see what our opponent's doing here. I'm not entirely sure what deck they're playing. I mean, lots of decks, including our own, play access to the Sobble, Drizzile, Inteleon line. Not really sure what they could be playing. Hopefully they're not playing Rapid Strike Urshifu or Jolteon. Those are both poor matchups for us. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Okay, looks like they're just going to go for a pass. Maybe they missed their turn of some sort. I'm actually going to go ahead and just go for a Galarian Koffing. So even if they are passing their turn, they might not necessarily have much. We are going to go for the Koffing. We can see that we have the 1 Weezing there. We're going to double check. So we have some really weird prize cards is the best way that I put it, but we are going to go for a Koffing there, and we are going to use Level Ball to grab ourselves a Sobble so we can get set up fully. And this is where a lot of players will just scoop because they won't be able to have access to their Drizziles or anything else like that. They might legitimately hard pass their turn. I mean, that's one of those benefits of playing a deck like this. You got Galarian Weezing. You can totally shut off a deck turn 1 with neutralizing gas, and then they're like, pass. That's why decks like Mew are running a couple copies of Escape Rope. People are increasing their counts of bosses orders, playing Pokemon catchers just to get out a neutralizing gas. So still not sure if our opponent's just like DCing or if they don't have anything. Okay, so they are playing their deck out. We'll have to see what they can do here. So they do have the Capture Energy. Okay, so they are playing Jolteon. The reason why Jolteon's a tough matchup is because they can get through and start attacking our Pokemon on the bench. We had a pretty quick start here, so they might not be able to do too much anyways. A good way that they can kind of build up this game is going by Thunder Spear getting some damage on our bench Pokemon relatively quickly, so they can go Max Thunder Rumble. They could also go Pin Missile to knock through the Galarian Weezing relatively easily, or they could even just go Thunder Spear onto the active, so they only need to get 2 heads with the Pin Missile. Those are strategies that have really worked well for me. But we'll try our best. They might just go ahead and miss this Drizzile with neutralizing gas. I'm not sure if they have the Escape Rope. I know Jolteon lists sometimes play 1 copy, and they usually play 1 to 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Do they have it? Probably not. They might have grabbed the Drizzile and were like, oh, this is a mistake. They can't use Zigzagoon. They can't use Drizzile. So they're going to waste that Drizzile, and they won't be able to use Shady Dealing. So our opponent making a mistake, they're just going to go keep calling. We're going to start just kind of getting built up. I'd like to get like another one out, but we do have our other Koffing and Weezing prize. So our setup not very good. Their setup doesn't look like it's very good either. So we want to start building up things whenever possible. And I think that's a really good like strategy for us, just building up things whenever possible. Now, I don't want to pitch this hand away. I also don't want to Marnie our opponent. I might just chill with the Sobble there. And if our opponent, like, I don't think our opponent's going to really bring it up. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Severe Poison. Or actually, maybe I'll just go Drizzile and try to quick shooting the Sobble off the face of the map. So yeah, let's go for something like that. If we don't get it next turn, we do have our other Klara there. Maybe we'll just go for Research and get a better setup. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go Research there. We're going to put down the Hoopa in this matchup. I think it's cool to just hit into something and then get them with Sableye later. We do have the energy there, so I'm going to put the energy there. I think that seems fine. It's a lot of, like, weird decision-making. I don't really want to lose the Klara, but, like, 1 Klara is not going to necessarily hurt us our entire game. So we are going to go for a Level Ball here, and we are able to maybe knock out that Sobble next turn, or it might get knocked out in between turns from Poison. So you just want to kind of get a board set up, and we always, like I said, free retreat, attacking, and we're going to build up those Galarian Moltres as our opponent draws prize cards. So let's go for a Severe Poison here. And 4 damage counters. Maybe we could start even building up damage on the Jolteon so that we're ready to go with a Sableye as soon as they knock us out. That wouldn't be a bad idea at all. But we do got to watch out for their free retreat or anything else like that. Now, they might evolve the active just to try to get rid of the poison. But again, they won't be able to use Shady Dealings. Like, they can't search for a Boss's Orders if they do not have Boss's Orders. And again, like, they might be like, why can't I use Shady Dealings? Why can't I do this? Okay, so there's their Jolteon. We need to, like, fingers crossed again, hope that they don't really have much. But that's really what Weezing can just put your opponent in. Like, we're just gonna, like, keep on chilling. And this is one of our worst matchups. Imagine if we're playing Mew and we just hit Mew with the Galarian Moltres. 3 prize cards left, 170 times 2, 340. that matchup's significantly easier. And of course, we could just always neutralize and gas them and like slow them out of their Genesects and stuff like that. So regardless of whatever happens, I think this is going to be pretty good. And I mean, our hand was like okay, but we'll have to see how it plays out going forward. Okay, so we got access to Inteleon, we got access to Drizzile. What's our opponent going to do? Are they going to hit us for 100? I just don't know what they have. They have to have a lightning energy to start attacking into us. And a lot of it's just being reactive based off your opponent's plays. Like, they don't have another Jolteon down. Maybe we could hit them with a severe poison. Okay, I think they're going to hit us for 100 damage here. But that's fine. They still don't look like they have too much going on. And we just want to continuously, like, build up on our opponent, like, on our board state against our opponent. Alright, so are they going to retreat? I really just don't know what they're doing. They're playing this matchup a little bit slow. Maybe they haven't necessarily played against the Galarian Weezing deck. Maybe they're having connectivity issues. Okay, they're just going to pass. That's completely fine. They probably won't be able to knock us out or anything else like that. So I'm actually just going to build up this Sobble. I'm going to go ahead, go Drizzile here, and search my deck for an Evolution Incense. The reason why I want to go ahead and do a play like this is because now I have 2 Drizziles out, or I have another Drizzile out, and they're probably not going to knock out a Sobble. So I do have access here for the quick shooting Inteleon, so I can start building up some damage. So let's go Evolution Incense. Let's go for the Inteleon, and we could just like rip this one off the face of the planet. I think that might be pretty cool. Just getting an extra prize card and like building up a prize card. They got to start doing something. But at the same point, like, they could also go Scoop Up Net. Yeah, you want to know what? I'm probably just going to knock out this one in the active so they just don't evolve it, or Scoop Up Net all that damage away. So we just kind of planning around that 90 HP to 100 HP range. And I'm still fine with my hand. They have a 3-card hand. We have access to Raihan. We have access to Inteleon. So we can come down with, like, kind of a Sableye out of nowhere if we need to. So that's kind of the big game plan. We'll see what we get out of our prize cards. A Dark Energy, really not bad at all. Our opponent might start off by just hitting us with 100, and that's cool too. Like, I think our goal is to probably just knock out Jolteon and Jolteon for the rest of the game. And they're probably just going to hit us for 100. Okay, they still have another supporting card in their hand. They're chilling. But they won't be able to place damage on our bench unless they play Escape Rope. They can't get through the neutralizing gas. So that's going to be really difficult for our opponents. So let's just let's see how this plays out. And we just want to go back to back with Sableyes if possible. It's really the big play for us. Quick shooting Inteleon, not gonna matter there. Could matter late game if they are able to find boss's orders. Could be really good there, but I think right now we're in a good enough spot. There's their Max Thunder Rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we want to keep our options pretty clear here. If we go for something like this, yeah, I think we want to go for something like this and go for a Scoop Up Net for 1. I don't know if there's anything else that we necessarily want to grab. I think we want to hold on to a lot of other resources. I might just go for a Level Ball for the other one, just so we have other options. So we are going to go ahead and quick shooting onto their bench Jolteon, I think, or let's just go on to one of their Sobbles in case that we can actually knock them out in between turns. I am just going to go for a Drizzile here, and maybe I'll like hold on to that Scoop Up Net for like another turn, so we could always Scoop Up Net there, or see if there's like another thing that we want to go for. Let's go for Evolution Incense. Actually, what I am going to play the Scoop Up Nets just onto this Pokemon, so we have access. If our opponent plays boss's orders, they can't play boss and Marnie in the same turn. You can see I'm always just trying to change my strategy around whenever possible. We're going to put that down. We have access now to go double quick shooting, knock out a Sobble, do whatever we want. We are going to go ahead and go for severe poison on our opponent's active Pokemon. I think that sounds like a pretty good plan. And if they just kind of lead with that Jolteon, they might be in a little bit of a struggle spot. We might be able to go for a knockout on their Jolteon. Like, they'd have to go for like a Jolteon VMAX, attach an energy, something. I don't know. It seems like it'd be a little bit tough. Overall, I'm honestly not sure how they would ever play this out. And they might not necessarily be able to get it from Crushing Hammer or anything else like that either. Or not Crushing Hammer. What am I talking about? I'm literally just like naming cards. But sorry, our opponent would not be able to get it from Drizzile. Like, I think they'd be able to like go Zigzagoon or something else like that. They're just like playing cards and wasting all of their shady dealings. Forgive me, sometimes my mind gets jumbled when I'm in severe thought. I find this deck requires me to think a lot. Okay, so our opponent's actually just going to go knockouts. Because we are weak to lightning, so they're going to be able to go 200 there, knockout there, and I don't know, we might struggle here a little bit. This is really where when our opponent can start taking multiple prize cards that we really got to watch out for those kind of struggle turns. But it depends if our opponent's going to be attacking with the JOLTEON V on the bench, or however that's going to be playing out. So us losing this Inteleon this early is going to be quite a tough loss for us. And the fact that we just don't have another Galarian Weezing to kind of like bat around it is going to make it a little bit more difficult. It's JOLTEON, cool. We'll see if they remember to use their quick shooting or not. But I think they're definitely going to retreat so that we can't get the knockout with the Sableye on this one. And then we're just going to try to go into the other JOLTEON. We got to be very careful when it comes down to it. This is why some lists play Zigzagoon, so they can build up the damage counters with Headbutt Tantrum. I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. What's our opponent else have they done? Okay, so they are going to put the 20 damage onto the Sobble. They might knock out the Sobble and the Inteleon. That's fine. I just don't know what they're going to be doing. Okay. I think they're actually going to be knocking out. I think they're going to put the 10 damage on the Galarian Weezing and try to get it with the quick shooting. So that's the way that I think that they're going to play it out, because it is at 130. Oh, okay. Jeez. Who are they going to knock out? Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Now, we do have quite a few Pokemon that have damage on them, and we will not be able to get out the whole Galarian line because of our prizing this game. Although like that's really like where I'd want to be playing it. Now, if we go quick shooting with Crazy Claws would literally put it at 130, 150. Not enough for a knockout. I think the golden game plan is really going to be all about. I don't think we could do anything with the Galarian Moltres either. So yeah, we need to be knocking out these Pokemon. We get to kind of struggle, and you can see like how this deck like has a lot of like paths that we could go. I think at this point I'm probably gonna go for Klara. Going Klara for do both. We're gonna get back an energy here, and we're gonna get back I think a Sobble and an Inteleon. I think those both sound like really good choices for us. And we're gonna get that those last two energies back. So we're kind of vibing with that. I think we want to put Sobble down so we have access to Sobble. We want to evolve into quick shooting Inteleon so we have access to that as well. Let's go ahead and quick shooting it up onto our opponents. I mean, I don't think it necessarily even matters what we do it on. I think like we might want to attack into this JOLTEON a little bit more. If our opponent goes down to 2 prize cards remaining, yeah, that sounds... Actually, let's just build it up on this JOLTEON, because we can kind of get the other damage with the Hoopa. If we go ahead here, they might go quick shooting, Scoop Up Net, quick shooting. So I'm actually going to evolve this one as well. And we're going to search our deck for... I think we're just going to search our deck for a quick ball. I don't think they're going to Marnie us. They might Marnie us, but there's only so much that we could do. Let's go ahead here and go for... I think we want to go for Scoop Up Net onto the Drizzile, just so they can't do the extra damage and knock out 2 things. Let's go for Sobble, putting that back down. We're going to go ahead, retreat, send this up. Don't think there's really too much else that we want to be doing. We might have a Pokemon with an energy on it just for retreating purposes. They're probably, if they're going to have boss orders, they're going to bring up this Inteleon again. So let's go ahead and attach the energy to the Sobble here. I think that sounds like a pretty worthwhile choice. Then we're going to go ahead and go for Assault Gate for 90 damage. So fingers crossed our opponent doesn't really have anything to do with Cheryl. I'd like to use Neutralizing Gas a little bit longer. Our opponent's having a great time getting around this so far. But that's what you have when you have access to your Drizziles. And it's a really kind of a good point when it comes to this matchup. So, more or less one of those things where we're just going to try to plan an end goal. Okay, so they are going to go with Marnie. Our opponent, at least if they're going with Marnie, they're not going to be going with Cheryl. And that's something, they're not going Cheryl, they're not going Boss. So our opponent's likely just going to be drawing 2 prize cards here. And I mean, they might have Boss's orders for the late game. We could go for Evolution Incense. Depending on what we top deck, like, we have options. We have options. So there's the 20 damage, and of course these 2 Pokemon are going to be getting knocked out. So we're going to have to go for a Sableye play. I mean, at least we have access to double Sobble. I think that sounds really good. We're probably going to send up this Inteleon and Scoop Up Net into something else. Or actually, maybe we're going to send up this and go for Drizzile because we only have 1 Drizzile in there. Search your deck for Quick Ball and then Scoop Up Net Raihan for the other piece. So I think that ends up working out for us. Let's send this up. Hopefully we can get one of those pieces so we don't have to go through it. There's research, doesn't help us, so let's go for Evolution Incense. We are going to be going for Drizzile. Drizzile is going to force us going into this. We're going to search our deck for Quick Ball. Yeah, we're kind of chilling. Quick Ball, piece this away. We are going to go for the Sableye V. Sableye V. We are going to go ahead here. Sableye V goes down. We're going to go... actually, let's not go Scoop Up Net first. Let's go Quick Shooting. I think I could have maybe played this out a little bit better and not wasted an energy, but it probably does not matter. Let's pitch the energy, the damage there. We can now go Scoop Up Net over here. So again, I could have played that out a little bit better. It is what it is. I don't think they can actually just go for it, so let's just go for this so we have access for maybe another turn. Let's go like this, and we are going to go ahead and go for the Raihan. Raihan is going to allow us to grab an energy back from our discard pile onto the Sableye, and we are going to go ahead and search our deck for another energy. Considering we probably want other cards, I'm just going to go Energy Search to search for the energy. So we're going to be able to use Crazy Claws this turn. I think that's a cool thing. We're going to put ourselves down to 2 prize cards in a tough matchup. I mean, we are playing this matchup out as best as we possibly can. I think there's one of those things where, like, there's a few things that we could have done, but there's the Crazy Claws, 550 damage, kind of huge, and we are going to take 3 prize cards. You can see the fun prizing of getting the Koffing and the Galarian Weezing. So if our opponent goes Boss's orders, they likely just win. They just win the game. They can knock out Drizzile and knock out something else. If they have Scoop Up Nets, I mean, I guess they still need Boss's orders. 20. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be end of game for us. We didn't get to use Galarian Moltres at all, but that's really going to be coming out in a matchup where you can get a knockout with. So we're going to give our opponent the well played, and we're going to maybe try another game with this deck just to see exactly what's going on, but you can see how close it can be in this metagame. So knockout, knockout, it is what it is. Close game overall. All right, we are going to call whatever wins us the coin flip, and we got there. Let's get it. Would we like to go first? Yeah, I like going first with this deck so we have access to Drizziles and stuff like that, and just naturally evolving. And I mean, our start pretty good here. We do have access to Castform. I do want to have free retreats. We don't have a Sobble, but like, if we were to really have gone second, was there really too much that we would have changed? I mean, our opponent's just going to have access to a single turn with abilities or not. Looks like they're playing Dragapult, which might oddly just be a tough matchup for us, but we'll see how it plays out. Come on, deck. We'll see, right? There's the energy. We're going to leave the Pokemon in the active. No point of bringing this up. Let's go ahead here and pass. So, I mean, we're just going to try to lock out our opponent of their abilities. I think that's totally going to be the play here. And I mean, maybe we'll go Marnie, neutralizing gas, and just really start the game off hot there. Dragapult's going to be another difficult matchup because we are going to be playing against something that can do bench damage. Regardless, I think this might actually be a worse matchup than we were facing because Sableye, even though we're part dark type, it could be a little bit tough. So we'll just see how it plays out. I mean, only so much that we could do when it comes down to it. Will our opponent, like, hopefully they go for Keep Calling and just try to get set up there. Maybe if they play it well, they're going to go ahead and go for the bite. But I think either way, we're just going to go for Marnie, try to get things set up as quickly as possible, stop their abilities. And I mean, that's really like, we're just going to go ahead, sacrifice some single prize card Pokemon as early as possible. I think that sounds the best thing, so we can have those late game Moltres. We just got to watch out for those multi-prize card turns and our opponent playing kind of strategic Marnies. So they are attaching the energy correctly there. And the path's not going to matter for us. So that's totally fine. Energy doesn't matter there, so let's evolve and let's play Marnie. I don't know if our opponent has a great hand, but I know that we don't have anything going on here. So let's go ahead, Marnie it up, and see what we can get here. So not really much going on here, unfortunately for us. We're really looking for a Sobble there, but let's go ahead, retreat here, and we are able to go Severe Poison, really trying to stop our opponent. If they don't have access to Drizzile, or if they don't have a very good hand, they might just get knocked out in between turns, and we might be just like really chilling here. I think that's one of the strengths about Galarian Weezing. Since we are playing against a deck that is weak to dark, we are going to go Galarian Moltres focus, so we may want to try to get Galarian Moltres in the discard pile early as possible so we can fetch it out with Klara, especially if our opponent does play Marnie. They might just go ahead here and, like I said, pass. That's where it's at. But we'll have to see what's going on here. It should be a little bit better than the Jolteon matchup, I think, but I'm honestly not sure because they don't need abilities to hit through on the bench, and our Pokemon are chilling at some pretty low amounts of HP. So we're going to wait for our opponent to kind of play this one out. Fingers crossed, chat, that they just go pass. Let me know in the comments if you think they're going to go pass. Okay, they're going Quick Ball. I mean, if they're going to go for some kind of Crobat here, they've already locked themselves out of path, and they're locked under neutralizing gas, double locked. Maybe they're going to go for another Sobble or send up something to get sacrificed because they didn't draw anything off that Marnie. I think that's best case scenario for us. And they might just be doing a thorough deck search. I don't think they had a chance. Well, they did have a chance with Fog Crystal, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, just another Sobble. Probably going to bench that relatively quick. And I wouldn't be surprised if they just went for pass. Maybe they're going to go for Evolve so they don't get knocked out in between turns. Okay, cool. So they're going to take the knockouts in between turns. I'm fine with that. Ooh, we can kind of like punish them with the boss. If this Pokemon moves from bench to your active spot, I think that sounds really good so they can't use Jet Assault. So let's go ahead and just like roll with it. I think like if our opponent top decks, that's cool. If they don't, then like whatever. So let's just go Severe Poison. Hopefully they don't evolve. Hopefully they don't get an energy. It looks like their hand's not really having too much. They would have played a supporter. We might be able to just like punish them with Severe Poison. And I mean, yeah. Unfortunately for us, we're the ones who are getting punished here, just because our opponent doesn't really have too much going on, or sorry, that we don't have too much going on, and our opponent, while they don't have really too much going on, it's still gonna be tough for us. So our opponent, I don't know where they're gonna place the 5 damage counters. They should probably place it on the Castform. And yeah, let's go ahead and send up our Castform here. Now our opponent's only drawn 1 prize card. We could do 140 damage. Really not enough. I think we're going to have to go for research. Do we want to go ahead and lift up this Castform? I think it might just be ideal. So yeah, I'm going to go Scoop Up Net here, send that up, put that there, and I'm going to go ahead and research this hand away. At least we're getting this in the discard pile. I don't want to Scoop Up Net this because I might actually try to go for neutralizing gas. We'll have to see how that plays out if we're able to draw into it. And I mean, we are able to draw into it a little bit. We're going to go for a Level Ball here. search our deck for a Sobble. Yeah. Sobble. And we're going to go quick ball away this. And we're going to search our deck for another Sobble, just in case our opponent does anything to it. And we're just going to evolve into neutralizing gas, just hoping that next turn we could do something cool. So the fact that we missed the energy absolutely sucks there, but it is what it is, and we'll see how it plays out. Depending on what we top deck, we might be able to knock this out with the Sableye V, and that's really where everything could be cool. We'll have to see how that plays out. Maybe we got a little bit greedy by grabbing the other Sobble, and we would have been better to hold on to the quick ball, so we would have been able to grab a Raihan with the Drizzile, but like our opponent could easily just have gone boss and knocked out something else. So we gotta really play on those top deck modes. And they're probably just gonna place the damage counters carefully so they can probably knock out multiple Pokemon. They should probably put 4 or 5 onto the Sobble. Yeah, I don't know how I like that necessarily, but we're gonna set up our free retrader, see what we can top deck. We got Hoopa, so Hoopa's not gonna do anything for us, unfortunately. Now, if it comes down to anything, can we Klara? Cannot go Klara. Raihan's not going to do anything either, so I think we're just going to be struggling to get the knockout on this Dragapult. Yeah, Raihan's not going to do anything. That sucks. I think either way, we want to go ahead and evolve this Pokemon. I think that's the best thing that we possibly can do. Go ahead and... yeah, there's really not much that we can do here because we can't get the Moltres off, and that's gonna be really tough. We can't get another one going off, so it looks like we're gonna try to have to get Klara for next turn. That sounds really good. We might just attack with Hoopa here. I mean, our opponent, yeah, we're gonna attack with Hoopa, I think. So let's go for Energy Search. And we're going to go ahead and attack with Hoopa. Just putting some pressure on our opponent, and we're going to pitch our hand away. So you can see like how the max mana, even our opponent doesn't have really too much going on, really affecting us overall. We're going to evolve this one so our opponent cannot knock that out. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and search my deck for a quick ball. I think that sounds like the best play that I could possibly make. So let's go ahead, retreat this, send this up, and we're going to go ahead and go for Assault Gate. So hopefully our opponent, I think they're just going to attack into the Hoopa, attack into the Castform. Hopefully their hand's still a little bit on the dead side, and that maybe we're able to just like run through 2 Dragapults if we get that opportunity. But I think we're still going to be like really struggling here. They could just go Boss's Orders, knock out, I don't know, like they could do a whole bunch of stuff. Let's just see what our opponent can do. And I mean, like the Galarian Weezing deck, I think the reason why a lot of people don't play it is because it's complex. There's a lot of moving parts, so it bricks a lot. And it suffers from spread damage matchups. So you're going to lose to Rapid Strike and you're going to lose to Jolteon. So that's one of those things where it's like, it's a good deck for sure. Definitely within like the top 10. But it's a little too technical for most people's liking. But that's cool. That's why we're going to showcase these decks, showcase the highs, the lows. And I'm going to show you real games. I'm not going to show you games that are fabricated or anything else like that. Just really want to help our community grow as much as possible. This is probably going to be a Zigzagoon. Oh, it's just another Sobble. I was really thinking that they're going to knock out this Sobble and maybe knock out the Hoopa, try to, yeah. If they were going to grab that, then I can only assume. So they're going to go knock out there, put 5 onto the Sobble. So our opponent's now a Boss's Orders away from winning the game, and we've already wasted 2 Scoop Up Nets early on in the game. So we're gonna have to go ahead here and search our deck for Evolution Incense, searching our deck for, oh, we do not have it. That is going to be incredibly tough. So the fact that they knocked it out means that we can't use the Drizzile, so we can't necessarily just grab it. Now, I think we can maybe go for Klara to get the knockout here. So we're going to show the play that we could do. I think just grabbing this point at this point makes a lot of sense. You can see that we have the 2 energies there. We have the double Moltres there. So let's go ahead and try to jump back into this game. I think we certainly have a possibility of winning this game. It just depends on what our opponent has. So let's go for Klara. Let's do both. And these are the plays that you can make, right? Like, in a better situation, it could be a better situation. If they knock out this Moltres, they're basically going to be knocking out... they're probably going to be knocking out 2 things and just, like, winning the game. So we don't need another Moltres. We're probably not going to be able to get 2 off. So let's go like this. Search our deck for those. We're going to try to evolve these as much as possible. And let's go for Moltres. So you can see how the Fiery Wrath can come out. You can do a lot of damage to a Pokemon, whether it's like damaged or not, because we're doing 220 damage, 50 times the 4 prize cards our opponents draw, 200 plus 20. We would have knocked this Pokemon out whether or not there was weakness on board. Now, I'm just thinking if there's ever a point where like we want to try to get around this, if we still have a chance at this game. I think we just go ahead and go quick shooting. I'm just gonna go quick shooting on their Sobble, I guess. I don't really think there's a point of doing anything else here. If our opponent just has Dragapult, they win the game. We were really looking for like 1 more card to maybe get out. And it doesn't matter if we put a Sobble down at this point, so I think we go ahead and go Quick Ball away. Let's go Quick Ball away Marnie. I don't think Marnie's going to necessarily help us. We are going to go Sobble. So we do have access to maybe like going Boss's Orders game next turn if our opponent doesn't have it. Put yourself in the best situation anyways. Let's go ahead and Fiery Wrath, knockouts. Doing a lot of damage, 440. And we're going to draw 3 prize cards. So I think our opponent's going to take it. That's cool. Well played to our opponents. If we had Sobble or Sableye, it would have been a little bit different, but they could have also just gone like Boss's Orders or something else like that. Like if they have the energy, they just take this game. Maybe they would have been able to go Drizzile Boss's Orders. So weird matchups. It is what it is, but that's also something that you could face when you're playing a deck like this. You could face a lot of just random things. So well played to our opponent. So as you can see, this deck has a lot of moving pieces. Sometimes it can create for situations that are either overwhelming for your opponent with neutralizing gas, slowing them down effectively like we slowed down those Drizziles, or there's other cases where our prizing can be a little bit awkward or we're missing 1 piece from the combo. So if you are looking for a skill-based deck to play around for this for any kind of tournament, I think it's cool. Like I said, like there's a lot of little pieces. Even like quick shooting Inteleon can be like crazy to choose those 20 damage where to place, especially as you're trying to build up damage for Crazy Claws. If you are looking for a deck that's unique, this is totally worthwhile. Personally, I do like the Galarian SHF deck that does borrow a lot of cards from this deck, like the Hoopa, Galarian Moltres, stuff like that. I think that deck's a little bit more well-equipped towards the metagame right now, especially with Gengar and Jolteon seeing all that success. But if you're not necessarily interested and you are into this deck, I think it's totally a cool deck. I think I could have even played this deck a little bit better during this video. So it's one of those things where like, I definitely know what I'm doing with this deck. I know how the strategies kind of work. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily all come together because there's too many moving pieces. Like, I guess that's probably the theme of the day. Dark Box is a difficult deck to play because of all the moving pieces. Kind of buyer beware, play at your own risk. But like I said, try it out. You can pick up all the cards at PTCGOstore.com or all the codes to pick up the cards at PTCGOstore.com. Use code Lesage5 to help support me as a content creator. Not gonna lie, I do get a little bit of a splashback from that code, so that goes a long way in helping making sure that I can create more YouTube content. Beyond that, I mean, it's one of those things where you could always pick up some one-on-one coaching from me on this deck or any other kind of deck on metafy.gg/@ZachLesage. You can check that out in the description. I have turned players into regional, international, and even a world champion in the making. So it's one of those things where there's a lot of cool things going on there, and I can definitely help you up your game for in real life play or for online tournaments, whatever you're really looking for. By all means, give this video a thumbs up. It does help support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, please subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your homies. We're so close to 10K. Let's get it, right? And let me know in the comments what you want to see next. We have a full week of videos planned out. Stay tuned for tomorrow's Monday top 10 decks. Those are always the most exciting videos of the week. I'll catch up with everyone else later. Peace out and have a great day. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.